Hey y'all, I just wanted to jump on real quick. Welcome to another week's training of Sentence Success Academy. I don't know if that's ever going to get easier saying that. But welcome to another week of training. What's pretty interesting is that this is actually not technically what I plan on talking about this week. However, as I was getting ready to wrap up and head out of my office for the day and do all the things after, I was like, you know what? I want to go ahead and do this training because I feel like it's so important. It's not really something like we have to do all the time, but I feel like as a leader, whenever there is something that I specifically am working on, like in my business, I want to make sure and be like as authentic as possible. I'm also going to make sure that hopefully I don't see my ring lights as much. I'm going to try to stay like here as much as possible. Because I know it bothers me, so if it bothers me, it bothers y'all. But anyways, and so I was working on some things in the office, and I was actually working on some Happy Mail that I was sending out, and I figured, you know what, why not go ahead and just do that for this week's training? Something simple, something so like obtainable, simple, that anybody can do, whether or not you're a new consultant, and you recently just joined, or maybe you're seasoned and you've been around for a while. This is actually, I made a list about like a couple weeks ago or so of specific customers that either I haven't heard from in a while, or maybe perhaps specifically like with my Scentsy Connect app. If you haven't, little plug-in for that, by the way, if you haven't downloaded your Scentsy Connect app, I highly recommend doing it. But through the Scentsy Connect app and or your workstation, because if you didn't know that, if you have recently logged into your workstation, they're referring to as like what's called like a widget. So it's at the like very top of your workstation screen, and it's basically going to show like potential customers that you can reach out to, that maybe perhaps again haven't either like opened your newsletter in a while, haven't placed an order in a while, or maybe perhaps personally you haven't spoken to in a little while. But anyways, and so that's where your list is going to come from, because that's where I generated my list. I didn't get crazy because I on a tight budget, so I went ahead and I think I ended up having about 4 total customers that I'm going to send this out to. And here's the thing too, is that before I show y'all what I'm sending out, the more important thing that I want to share with this week's training is that whenever you are doing something in your business, for your business, it is so nice that you can actually like double down and get like twice as much done with like one thing that you're working on. What do I mean by that? So here I am sitting in my office, right? I'm currently at my desk. I'm getting this Happy Mail done. Instead of me working on the Happy Mail and sending it on its way, I knew that I wanted to record myself like I'm doing right now. I wanted to record myself in a video format, take some photos of how I'm doing my Happy Mail. I actually am not showing my face. I turn my camera around. In fact, I'll show y'all. I'll take it off this little stand. I have this little stand right here that I got for real cheap off of Amazon. But prop your phone up any way that you can, whatever works. But I prop my phone up and then I turn it to the side, and I'm not even showing my face. All that is all that's being shown in the video for a reel, by the way, because I'm filming for a reel, is that it's showing me packing Happy Mail. It's showing me, everything that I'm putting into there, that I'm working on. In fact, it's actually like I think like 4 short video clips. So I didn't do it like I didn't like keep it going. I just did it like in little increments, which is great because if you didn't know anything about reels, which that's not really what this training is about, but it's referred to as like a B-roll. So it's like little quick videos basically to like catch somebody's attention. You could also film a video and put it into your stories. You could take photos, like place all your Happy Mail, everything that you're putting into your envelopes and your cards, whatever you're sending out for Happy Mail, samples, etc. Put it like a little pile, take a picture of it again. So you're doubling down, right? You're maximizing the potential for not only getting maybe new customers, because you're sharing at some point, because like for example, the content that I've videoed of me putting the Happy Meal together today, just now, that video that I'm putting together, I won't even actually be sharing out until like a whole nother week from now. So what's really great is I have it on my, not to say that you actually have to have this yourself, But I have like a little calendar that I print out from free on Canva. I print it out for free. You could probably do it from Google too. But I like printing out a calendar visually for me every month and writing out. ChatGPT actually helped me with this. But I like every day I have something that I'm doing intentionally and purposefully throughout the summertime to either connect with my customers or share fragrance, whatever the case may be. So one of those days specifically, I believe towards the end, is share how I'm doing Happy Mail. Now, what's interesting enough for me is I'll be actually sharing that content 3 times. So, for example, the actual Happy Mail that I'm sending out, right? That's the first step. Then the second way that I'm working my business, doing the exact same thing, not overdoing it, but packing that Happy Mail today in the envelopes. I took the videos, right? So the videos is I'm going to format it into a reel. So that reel will be shared in like the next week or two. So that's the second way. The third way is that I email my customers. I've talked about this weeks prior on how to curate and put an email together for your Scentsy customers through Workstation. You can also do it through Scentsy Connect too. So when I email out my customers, I usually will email them out. I think it's like, let me see. I want to say I think it's either like Thursday or Friday. Yeah. So on Fridays, I email out my customers, and I'll either share like a customer review, testimonial, and or I'll show like how I'm doing Happy Mail. So what's really awesome is that I've already taken this picture of like the Happy Meal. Obviously not showing like the addresses or anything like that, but it's going to show like basically what's going in the Happy Meal. I took a real quick photo, didn't overthink it, and then that picture is going into the email that I'll be sending out to my customers. So just by doing Happy Meal alone, I'm able to, I'm trying to figure out like, sorry y'all, perimenopause is perimenopause because there are like simple words that I just like having trouble with today. So basically, I think y'all get what I'm saying, right? So like, there's 3 different ways. So you're doing one thing in your business, and you're maximizing the potential. There we go. You're maximizing the potential to not only connect with like your current customer base, but then maybe perhaps like get newer customers or planting that seed, with other people as well. But I love that. I will say that I'm not always great about remembering to do that, but when I do, it's so awesome because in that way, now I already have something that is set up for me to work on and do tomorrow, right? I don't have to think about how am I reaching out to my customers tomorrow? How am I working my business tomorrow? I know, oh yeah, I'm sending out an email to my customers tomorrow, and I'm also using the photo that I took the day before. Same thing for a week from now. I have that reel that I'm going to be posting on Instagram and Facebook, right? So then it's not a matter of like, oh, you know what, today is not really a good day that I want to post or share anything. Currently, I don't want to video myself for a reel. Guess what? Don't have to because I already took that video today and it's going to be ready for me to put together, create all the things, post and share a week from now. So I'll go ahead and just go over real quickly what's going in my Happy Mail. So one thing, if you didn't know this, where did I put that page at? One thing, if you didn't know this, is that you can actually go, little fun fact for y'all, you can actually go to your PWS, scroll all the way down. There's a link at the very bottom that is going to say download catalog. You don't actually have to download it, you can open it. I highly recommend just open it because honestly, if you download it, it takes up like way too much space on like your phone or your computer or laptop. But if you open it and you scroll through, what's really awesome is that you can actually choose out of the catalog specific pages to print out. So for example, I think this is like page 5 of our catalog. So I scrolled through and I found this page, which was page 5. This is like the new fragrance descriptions of our new scents for the season. And I just specifically wanted to print that page and that page only. So I printed it enough for all 4 envelopes that are going out, which is great. You don't have to print out the whole catalog. So fun fact as well is that if you're on a budget and let's just say you're like, you know what, I just don't think I'm going to order the catalogs this season, whether it's now or going into like later on in the fall, winter time, that's fine. Because you can, like I said, open up the digital catalog and print out which pages you want to print out. Provided obviously you have a printer that you have access to. So that's one of the things that's going into my Happy Mail. I didn't want to overthink it. In fact, I started to overthink it with my spicy brain. So y'all already know I went to ChatGPT and I was very intentional and I asked ChatGPT. I said, I'm wanting to print out a page from our current Scentsy summer spring catalog, and I want to put it out into Happy Mail, reaching out to my customers. Which page would you recommend that I send out? Boom. It gave me two options, this being one of them. I freaking love that. Because honestly, I couldn't decide because, I was deciding literally between, I think, like 4 or 5 different pages to print out. I wasn't going to print all of them out. And so that makes so much sense, honestly, for me to print out the fragrance descriptions for the new scents, because the other thing that's going in their Happy Mail, oh, here it is I have the scratch and sniff stickers for the new season, or this current season. Now, let's just say, again, hypothetically, you don't have something like this. That's perfectly fine. If you have any kind of scratch sniff sticker available, or if you have a scent circle, because that's actually going in another one of mine, is a scent circle, fine, use a scent circle. If you don't have fragrance in general, that's okay too. I do highly recommend at least having scent circles on hand. Use your host rewards towards those. Those are really great to have on hand because you might hear this all the time, but it's the smell that sells. I don't know about you, but I honestly want to make sure that anything I'm sending out to my customers, no matter what it is, it's going to smell, because we're in the business of fragrance. Right? Like that makes sense to me. Even if you have to, let's just say, like, if you're ordering from let's just say you're ordering from like the consultant store, there are scratch and sniff stickers like these that are on there that are not, like, they're there, but they're not the current ones, but they're on sale. Grab those. It does not matter. It doesn't have to be the current fragrances. That's perfectly fine. But whatever sample you put in your envelope, put it in there. So I put a sample of that, and let's see. So they've got that. So that's my sample, by the way. This is definitely considered a sample. So they have this lovely combination of the new fragrances. As far as this sheet, if I'm not mistaken, I can't remember if this is one that a Scentsy consultant created, I think. But Scentsy actually has one on their workstation that you can download as well. It's not going to look exactly like this. And I believe that I created this one in Canva for free. By the way, Canva's free. There is a paid version, but you can also do Canva for free. And then I added my QR code on the side, and this just takes them automatically to my personal website. So I got that. Even, let's just say also too, like, let's just say you're on a budget and for whatever reason, you don't feel like, or you don't want to print this out. Perfectly fine. Just print out regular computer paper, or I'm sorry, you don't have to print out regular computer paper. Grab computer paper, something along those lines, even if it's like construction paper, but computer paper is a lot lighter. But cut it out into like 4 strips, just like this, and then put your stickers on this side. You can even write at the top and just say my favorite fragrances, or check these fragrances out, whatever you want to say. Does not matter. But let me tell you, like, anything's better than getting a bill in the mail, right? So your customers are not going to be they're not going to be picky. They're not going to complain about whatever it is that you're sending to them. They are going to be the utmost excited that you have sent them anything point blank in the mail. Because let's be honest, anything other than junk mail or bill is like super exciting and very rare, right? So they're not going to complain. They're going to love whatever you send them. So the other thing that I sent my customers, quick, to the point, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I already had like this scratch pad from, probably like 2 years ago, from like 4th of July, from whoever I ordered it from, whatever company. But I had a couple of pieces left, a couple of sheets left, so I grabbed one of my pens, and I just wrote like a real quick message on there, hoping that they enjoy the sets. If you absolutely want to know what I wrote down, I just wrote down, this is what I said. I said, just popping in to say hi. I was thinking of you lately. Hope there's something here that sparks your interest. Megan. So we got that. So that's all they're getting. They're going to get that. They're going to get scratch snip stickers, and I'm tri-folding this down, and that's going in the envelope. That's it. Now, I'm also going to keep the list of those that are receiving Happy Mail from me, and because I do have their phone number, I am going to give them probably about, like, let's see, because we're going into the end of the week, so maybe like midweek next week, I'll check in with them. So let's see, today, if you're depending on when you're watching this video, today is actually Thursday, so I will probably follow up with them probably like Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that, just to see if they received it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna make it wordy. I'm not gonna overthink it. I'm just going to follow up with them, because here's the thing. One thing that I have learned the hard way over the last 5.5 years that I've been with Scentsy so far, that I've learned the hard way, that I don't even think about how much happy mail I've sent out to my customers that I did not follow up with. And it's just as simple as like texting them and just saying like, hey, I just wanted to, again, pop in. I just want to pop in. Hope you're doing well. I just want to see if maybe you received your happy mail yet. That's it. If you want to, if they then reply back and they're like, oh yeah, I got it, be like, oh, I'm so excited, let me know what you think. Whatever you want to say. But the most important part is following up with whatever it is that you're sending out into the mail to your customers. Because think about it, like what you're sending out to your customers cost money, right? You're investing in yourself. You're investing in your business. I'm putting stamps on my envelopes. Everything costs money, right? Like the ink that I'm putting out on these papers, the stickers that I bought, all this costs money. So I'm wanting to make sure that I'm getting a return on my investment, even if, let's just say, I'm not focusing on like, oh gosh, I hope I get an order from this. If I do, great. The most important part is that I want to make sure that my customer remembers, for one, that I'm still a Scentsy consultant, and for two, that I am available if they have any questions, or maybe perhaps if they do want to order. Otherwise, it's just a part of your job. It's like a check on your list. You send out your happy mail, and then I personally will probably I like to set an alarm on my phone, because I am not going to remember if I write it down on like a sticky note or on my calendar. So as soon as I get done putting this happy mail together, I am actually going to set an alarm for myself for next week, to follow up with customers that I sent my happy mail out to. And I think that's pretty much about it. I just want to show you what was going in my happy mail. And like I said, no matter what you're doing in your business during the summertime, make sure that you're taking photos of it. Like I said, if you're making samples, take a photo that you're making samples. Take a video of you making samples. What's so great about that is then you're able to share it in multiple places, right? You're not having to like overthink it, overwork it. Yeah. And to me, that has made my life so much easier, especially when I have like more downtime. The fact that I have video and photos readily available that I don't actually have to do like in real time. Same thing with like when you're using Scentsy products. If you are using our laundry products, take a photo, drop your laundry liquid bottle in your hamper or in your laundry basket. Take a photo, right? You get what I'm saying? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Post it to your stories. I love the heck out of Scentsy Fresh. So I don't do it nearly as often as I should, but I use Scentsy Fresh daily, but I do forget, because I'm only human. I do forget to like take a photo or take a video, but when I do, it's awesome, because again, right, I'm showing that I'm using what I love. I'm sharing an example of how to use the product. I'm posting a photo, or maybe I'm sharing it to stories, right? All the things. So you can do that with intention and be purposeful. And then what I love so much is that once you do it, again, you're able to use it like in a different way. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. But like I said, this was going to be short, quick, to the point. This is actually hopefully my goal from now until the end of summertime, is every week doing about no more than like a 20-minute little tip for you guys on training, because it's summer, right? And I want to make sure that you're not only getting some helpful, useful information, but I know that time is valuable. And I want y'all to be able to have fun this summer, be productive, make new memories. I hope you have an incredible week. Also, if there's any takeaway from this video, or maybe something like a tip that you want to share as well, be sure and drop it down in the comments. Otherwise, I hope you'll have an incredible rest of your week.